Majority of refugees and asylum seekers in Kenya originate from Somalia. Other major nationalities are South Sudanese, Congolese, and Ethiopians.
These refugees and the locals are one and the same people. They speak the same language, same religion, same culture. And even before the refugee crisis, they were still cousins and distant relatives. So it's like these refugees came home away from home.
In Dadaab, about half of the refugee population are youth. Unfortunately, due to the encampment policy, these young people, they are restricted to a certain area, which reduce their opportunity to get access to formal employment or employment with a small business.
According to UNHCR, Dadaab hosted a total of over 200,000 registered refugees and asylum seekers as of May 2019.
When you have limited job opportunities because of the high population and the many youths who want better life opportunities, they will tend to look for alternative means of livelihood. And as such, when they are promised good things by the human smugglers and also by those who recruit people into armed conflict, especially around radicalization and the Al-Shabaab, then you find that they easily fall to those preys.
Most of the youth, since they don't have anything to do, they tend to participate in what is not useful and ruin their life unknowingly, thinking that this is what it's supposed to do.
We met Suleiman in Dagahali, one of the camps in Dadaab. He is a victim of human smuggling.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Magacaygu waa Suleiman Sheekh Xasan Geedi, engineer Bolo ku magac dheer. Meeshaan waxaan imid 2012 ayaan imid muddo dabcan xuduudka Soomaaliya iyo Kenya oo aad u adag soo galitaankiisa baan soo galnay si kastoo ahaato dhibaato kasta la soo maro dabcan waan imaanay markaan imaanayna hay'adda UNHCR baan qaabishay meesha nooga gooyay kaarkii iyo aqoonsigii iyo kulli qaxooti qofka qaxootiga uu ku joogi lahaa maxaa igu dhaliyay shaqo la'aan baan ahayn markoo shaqo la'aan baan ahayn dhalinyaro badan oo dibadda tagtay oo nasiib ku saaciday oo dhooftay wax baan la xiriirnay kuwii baa hoogaana yar waalay laakiin noomay sheegin aqoon xumada lagala kulmaayo iyo dhibaatada uu leeyahay iyo sida ay tahay kulay markii ugu horeyso markaan baxnay 7 doomood baa ahayd 7 doomood 4 ka mid ah badda laqday 3 ku badbaadnay oo silac iyo saxriir dhibaato ayaan ku badbaadnay kulay waa dareemi kartaa markaad qof aad si socoteen uu dhinto ama badda ku qatamo laakiin wixii marka aan tagayay aan arkay iyo wixii aan idaacadihii ka maqlay iyo wax aan warbaahinta ka maqlay iyo wixii aan igu dhacay taasoo ku qos.
Most of these people want to be smuggled to Garissa. Some want to be smuggled to the city, and probably after getting to the city, they want even to be smuggled further outside the country.
In other cases, human trafficking can be involuntary. This happens a lot with children through abductions where ransom has to be paid to have them released.
We have participatory assessments, and also we have focus group discussions all over the year, talking to the refugees and the host community. And one of their concerns that they keep on bringing about is smuggling, children being smuggled, and armed elements in the camp.
waxaan hadda joognaa ayaal beel ayaalkii baa la yeelala tagaya wax jooga ma laha dunyada la xoolo laga ganacsado waan aragnay laakiin laga ganacsado waa noo kow.
This is Syed. A couple of weeks ago, his son was forcefully trafficked to Libya.
sida u taagnaa cunuga waa la waayay warkiisa raadkiisa sidaan dareemaynana keligiisa ma ahayn afar cunug ayaa gaaris laga waayay muddo marka la joogo soonkii 28 bari uu joogo ayaa cunugii macnaha WhatsApp-ka ayaa lagu soo duubay codkiisa iyo asigoo la garaacayo la jirdilayo oo sawirkiisa banaanka yaalo hadda maqal arki karo cunugii markii alaalkiisa soo dhacay wuxuu noo sheegay inuu 9 qof ay ahaayeen oo halkan laga qaaday eeriyadan gobolka NFD 9 qof waa la furay kaligiisa ku soo xaray cunugii xawaaladiisa waxay noo sheegtay markii Liibiya number bay noo soo direen waxay dhaheen Maxamed Aadan Cabdi anaga haysano magafuweeyo halkan joogno waa Liibiya cunugiin haddii aad rabtaan noloshiisa 10,000 oo Kenya 10,000 oo dollar u xiran
dhalinyarada Soomaaliyeed inta ku haminaysa tahriib iyo wax la mid ah waqtigeena tahriib ha ku luminina tahriibku waa tahluuko nin walba dalkiisa inuu iska joogo oo wax iska barto haddaad wax barato dhowdi gacantaada shuminaysaa war tahriibka dhimashadiisa ha u cararinay dalkiina iska jooga.
Human trafficking and armed conflict are very closely related. Armed conflict works through radicalization. Once a young person believes in the radicalization narrative, they offer themselves to be trafficked outside the camps. The young people are then fed lies about their religion, which makes them end up engaging in atrocities like terrorism.
The young ones who are joining these illegal groups, they're brainwashed in terms of you will get this when you fight in the cause of Allah. That when you die, you're going to get 72 virgins in the heaven and stuff like that. There's nothing like that. The Quran does not have stipulation. When you kill an innocent life, it will be written for you like you've killed a nation.
They are really, really discreet in whatever they do. And now, considering that these refugee camps are like come in, walk out, about 50 kilometers on a state line to the international boundary. That would mean anybody can sneak in at night, and before dawn, he or she sneaks out. And this is the most challenging part of policing these refugee camps.
So as you all know, this operation is a protracted refugee situation, which is lasting now for about 3 decades. That's why all the stakeholders believe that it's time now, in collaboration with Kenya government, to find a solution to this protracted refugee situation.
The best that can be done is to see how to change the ideology and the narratives that are propagated, especially by those who recruit young people. So a counter-narrative with positive messages, a counter-narrative with deterrence messages.
UNHCR decided to address this issue by partnering with 3 other humanitarian organizations: the Lutheran World Federation World Service, the Danish Refugee Council, and FilmAid. The Youth Inclusion Program was born.
When we saw this coming up and knowing that we deal with families who are most vulnerable, who are coming here to seek refuge, then we wanted to change the mindset of Kenyans and the world, and to change the dialogue.
For a long time, there hasn't been information to tackle and address human trafficking and armed conflict. So the Youth Inclusion Project provides a significant opportunity to educate and create civic awareness for young people on the effects of armed conflict, on the effects of human trafficking, and also on how to promote peaceful coexistence.
What you're saying is we're not coming with solutions, but we're allowing the youth to be part of the solution. So the youth understand that they are actually part of this. They're part of decision making, but they also are required and needed when it comes to implementation.
It was noted that the youth engaged themselves in violent extremism because they were idle and lacked opportunities. The consortium decided to come up with sporting activities to provide an alternative to this and hopefully keep them away from the radicalization in the camps. LWF was tasked with facilitating the sports and school debate activities.
Sports is very important. It's very key, especially for the youth. These activity itself, by itself, was to prevent the radicalization among the youths, both from the refugee and for the host community. And the key messages that we were giving them is that there is more that you can achieve from one another. There is strength by coming together. There is strength in diversity. The planning for the sports for the refugees was a very participatory process. It was a youth-led program where youth were included in all the processes. We included both women in terms of the volleyball. There were men also with the football, including also the volleyball and basketball in various camps. The kind of support for this activity was to support them to conduct the tournaments. So there were preliminary tournaments that were conducted across the camp. They themselves took the initiative. An example also in Dagahale, they were able also to mobilize the resources by themselves. Apart from we had at least something to support them, the officials to coordinate. Dagahale, they were able to get even the trophies from the business people, including the refreshments. And this was a kind of at least to bring them together to realize their capacities. They share information because within that specific area we had almost maybe around 10,000 people. And in this process, friendships are created, networks are created, and this is what we are aiming at.
All around the world, football is more than a game. Football brings people together. This same philosophy has been embraced in Dadaab. Each camp was required to produce their best team by the end of the tournament. We managed to cover the finals at Ifo refugee camp.
I think football is one of the most important things when it comes to diversity of things like social integration, and when youth are entertained in a certain thing, that one will decrease in extremism, because in the recent years we have seen a lot of some members of the youth that actually likes or tries to go into extremists.
At the end of the refugee games, LWF had a colorful event in Hakadera to award the winners in each sports category.
The winners are receiving the golden medals.
The winners dadka ku guuleystay,
And number 2, they will get a silver medal.
inaan abaalmarinada kala duwan oo halkan goldenka iyo medalka aan ku guddoonsiino.
We all know interaction happens when different people come together, and our school is an education center which promotes interaction. Like now we are doing interaction. My second point, source of employment.
We were tasked to implement debates at the school levels, and in this case we went ahead and had debate competitions, preliminaries at the school levels, and we had intercamps for the final debates. The debates were out to address different topics, and LWF took the topic on peace, which addressed education is the key to success. I want to echo the words of President Obama, where he said that ideologies are not defeated by guns, but by new ideas. By the student addressing education as key, it's a way of them fighting the ideologies that are outside there, that are giving false hope.
We all know most agency workers are all educated because of their education they were employed.
In fact, it is just as any other learning session. The winners from today are going to compete with winners from Hagadera and winners from Dagale. Learners are talented. They presented everything clearly. I can really grade it as an excellent session.
Human trafficking and smuggling were the other issues UNHCR was targeting for the Youth Inclusion Project. FilmAid developed a program to sensitize the youth about this. Papet is a musician from Hagadera. He hails from Somalia and has been in Dadaab refugee camp for the last 7 years. He was part of the drama team put together by FilmAid.
So for us, FilmAid, what we do is we try to engage the youth. We're using different methodologies, such as theater performances. Like we train them on theater. Those who are passionate about art, the skills of music and the skills of poetry, the skills of acting and the skills of telling a story using different methodologies.
FilmAid has a group of 22 artists who live within the camps. And for the Youth Inclusion Project, we added 8 more artists from the host community, some of whom live within the camp areas, and others who come from Dadaab township. These artists came together. They met with 2 consultants, John Wasonga and Joseph Wairimo, who trained them on performance skills and created 3 performances on thematic areas of human trafficking, peaceful coexistence, and armed conflict.
Then you go like, when you're storming out, give it all your energy and anger.
According to the story, we want to trigger conversations of conflicts that starts in a very little way.
We caught up with Wenepai, a South Sudanese national from Dagahale refugee camp. Wenepai and his team put together a play on armed conflict.
This one it has never been happened before, but this one now. adiga wiil yar baa tahay wiil yar baa tahay dagaalka waxba kama taqaanid dagaalkan anigu naga dhaxaya go baa waa bixi kartaa cid ana xal ka gaari doona look at him he don't want to talk about it, but now we need to make a plan. These people, you must destroy them. We are not going to leave them. We must destroy them all. We have to kill them all. Huh? You know, me, I'm the boss, and I'm very angry about this. Do you know what I'm going to do? I have this gun here, and I have more 250 guns. And I'm going to get more today. And these people, they must see whatever thing they will
During day one that we started the training, so it has helped us and improve us, not only to make us act, but it has also educated us more. We could not be in this place if it is not because of war. And now I've understood in this training that we have learned that small things that can get into conflict, and I know whenever those who are outside there, they will also learn more and they will take it, I'm sure of that, and we will try our best together.
After the training, which took about 2 weeks, they were able to roll out these performances into their camps, perform within their communities, and also move around and perform within other camps and communities. For instance, a group from Hagadera would perform within Hagadera and move to Dadaab and to Ifo and Dagahale. And they were able to move around also to kind of show that these different communities can also come together, work together, live peacefully together.
Leave my sister alone. What's wrong? I say leave her alone. What's it? Leave her alone. Do not
I think the reason why theatre is effective is because we've introduced participatory theatre. And in participatory theatre, we do not disconnect the message from the performance. They're all together, but they're all done in a very interesting way, so that the audience feel part and parcel of the performance itself. The audience at some juncture is also invited to give their own point of view and to decide where the story will be. We're not preaching to the audience, and the audience do not feel that we are preaching to them. We are actually engaging them in a conversation, and in a meaningful conversation through performances. And we've seen them being the decision makers in these situations and coming out and say, this is what you actually need to do, this is what you need not to do.
Okay, FilmAid uses the methodology of CWC, that is communicating with the community. For us, we don't go to the office and wait for the refugees to come to us. We go to the community, we go to their doors and we knock at their doors and talk to them. We have a Radio Talk Back show where we're inviting leaders to come and speak. So we target those people who are old enough to just stay at home and listen to radio, and we engage them on discussion on one-on-one. We also have the outreach aspect where we take a microphone, we mount it on a speaker, and then we go from one block to another, making announcements like in Somali we say Ogeysis, announcements. We are here today to give you information on human trafficking. If you do this, this is what is going to happen to you. Please be alert. And aside from that, we also have events. In these events, we try to work with artists who are they are young, vibrant, and they experience similar challenges that the young people experience in Dadaab. We also do screenings to sensitize the community on human trafficking and stuff like that. So we go from blocks to blocks, from section to sections within different camps, and we communicate with the community using the power of film.
The other element would be what we call the radio spots. So we have a few radio spots where we have these creative messages that will be on radio, and they're like jingles. So there'll be, we'll have interesting and creative ways of people getting the message. Information has to be sent in any way possible. So we send the information, we do the print work, we design the T-shirts. We also have a big social media campaign team. And so everything that we've been doing has actually been reaching out.
The refugee camps are inhabited by people from different countries and tribes. Because of this, it is important for them to learn how to live together in harmony. Peaceful coexistence is one of the other major topics of discussion in the Youth Inclusion Project. This is Rhoda. She's a South Sudanese refugee living in Ifo, Dadaab. Sudanese refugees are one of the minority groups in Dadaab.
When I first came here, the Muslims were like, okay, you should dress fully, where you're not supposed to leave any part of you except your face and your eyes. But then there was this neighbor of mine who was a Muslim, and they were so against it, so we had to call a meeting. At first we were enemies, but after talking and reconciling and understanding both sides where the problem was coming from, we became friends. Even we share things with you. You can go, like if you lack something from your home, you go to the Somali place and take it, and if they lack something, they come.
There's intercommunal conflict that can be caused by small things like women disagreeing at a water tap, or small things like forced marriages or business rivalry, or simply young people fighting after a football match, and this escalates into clan conflict and community conflict and into factions.
magacayga waa Aamina Maxamed Muuse, waxaan ku dhashtay Muqdisho 1969kii, waxaan jiraa 50 sano maanta. Ha ahaato 50 sano qayb ka mid ah waxaan ku noolahay qaxootiga Kenya, gaar ahaan xagar dheer. Sababta ah subax waxay soo dhaceen 1 saac iyo 20, 2 saac iyo 20 dhimanna way go'een. Daraadna qoys dad badan oo baahan ay jireen. Shalay markii ay soo dhacday daqiiqada yar ay socotay way go'day. Galabtii haddana waxay soo dhacday 9 saac. 9 saac iyo barna way go'day. Dadkii subax hore ay ku go'day qaar ka mid oo dhaansanay baana daraadna qatnaa qayb ka mid ah. waxay yiraahdaan aniga daraadna waa qadnay, haddana qaditaan diyaar u mani. Dab aaga la isku dhig. Qawac khayriga leeysad leegu waxay tubadiya imid. Ya Allah ya nafta waxa dhacday in biil dhaasadan aan kala shubo sidii maxaa yiraahdaa aano kale. Dagaal waa kan ciilkana baday naga dhigay qaxootiga. Aan garlay abeesaan barkanahay dhabtoode dad yow dagaal faa'iido ma lehe naga joojiyaan dhahna.
Yes, DRC is reaching out to the youths in the blocks with peace informations to be able to enhance coexistence. And we have structured it in such a manner that we have master trainers who are going to be trained by consultants, and from where they'll be able to develop peace messages that will be able to be cascaded down. At another lower level, we have peace champions. Peace champions have been identified from the blocks within the camps and also the villages within the neighboring host community. The peace champions are the ones that will now conduct peace discussions with the youths in the blocks and the villages, and by extension, therefore, we'll be able to reach a larger number of people within a very short time.
So people need to have capacity for policy advocacy. How do we address our grievances in a non-violent manner? Through representative leadership or community participation during activities.
We have identified 16 master trainers who will be trained by the consultants. But as we cascade down, we have 140 champions. And already we have started the process of them trying to identify certain youth that they should be holding discussions with, that we reach out to 800 or so youths with the same message within the shortest time possible. And that is possible because in a case where maybe a champion is able to reach out to 10 youths with information, then we are already talking about reaching out 1,400.
Now from here, this team, after getting the capacity for developing messages, they are going to identify stakeholders to work with. These stakeholders are teachers, religious leaders, women and youth. And they will target these stakeholders with these messages, and these stakeholders will replicate the same downwards.
Min nemado ang istagin na buda ko yalan na adan kala kapsan hai na. Yes, which means united we stand, divided with. Yeah, this is also another message for the youth.
And the theme is preparedness and prevention. And the channel of media that we can use currently, that we can reach out to the community, is one, through the radio. We can also publish it in newspapers. We can also have our focus group discussions with the leaders, youths, and also the religious leaders.
Or in the regions. Not only very door, there are some target areas, like public areas, like sexual services centers. Number two, creating awareness through my carafon in the community. If there is any information want to be aired out, like outbreak of disease.
Among the activity we have done was campaigning or public education on peace building. After the training, we have also helped the champions to go into the blocks as they were disseminating the peace building messages. We were also monitoring some of the activities they were doing and the participants they are meeting. Majority of the people we met requested the trainings to be increased, the number of people to be increased.
The final activity done to strengthen peaceful coexistence was the empowerment of the CPPTs in Dadaab. The Community Peace and Protection Team is a policing system that was set up in the year 2011 to enhance security. CPPTs are refugees living in each of the camps who act as watchdogs to inform the security agencies of anything or anyone suspicious. They were commissioned with tools to help in this important responsibility. These tools are bicycles, solar torches, and whistles.
This program of involving youth in different activities such as games, peace building in the community, it is very good and also should continue. I would encourage people to continue participating and spreading and practicing it because it helps brings about peace cohesion.
Well, we are looking forward to ensuring that peace building become an integral part of our programs and give more focus to youth because they have a lot of potential and they need these skills to be able to be responsible persons in the community and models for the rest of the ones that are coming behind them.
While we were filming this documentary, there was a suspected Al-Shabaab attack in Yumbis, about 20 kilometers from Hagadera refugee camp. We were not allowed to go to the camps for the next 2 days after that incident for security reasons. This was a wake-up call for us in reference to the Youth Inclusion Project. It's not just a one-day affair with a visible end in sight. It should be an ongoing engagement with the youth so that we can be able to give them hope in their seemingly hopeless situation. In that way, it's easy for us to change their minds towards radicalization and prevent attacks like the one in Yumbis. We are grateful to the European Union for their generous support towards funding this project and to UNHCR for spearheading this vision.